All right, hi boys and girls. Bigfoot, Chupacabra. We're gonna take a little cruise around the Bigfoot Food Forest and check out the land. It's 5 acres of joy and love here in Port Richey, and we're pretty stoked. And we're moving forward with getting ready to present this to the world and have people be involved in it. So come join us. We got some good people here today, and the weather is perfect.
Hello.
He's a real authentic Lewis. And John, yes?
John.
John, yep.
Sarah.
Ken's new to Port Richey. We're psyched to have him here. So keep your women locked up, you know. He's tall, dark, and handsome. This tree, one of the storms knocked it down, and when nature does that to you, what do? You let it become a climbing playground so that our kids learn to climb on this tree, and it's amazing to watch them like start slow and then explode. But it's things like this that would be so cool someday on the property. It's like, what are all the things you didn't have growing up? And I always wanted a place where I could go where it was in the woods, so I wasn't in a gym, and I could do stuff that people are basically doing in like Spartan races and Tough Mudder now, where they can climb something super high and we can challenge ourselves. And boys especially, they need to like challenge themselves and do epic shit. And we're so safety, you know, zoned out these days that we don't give them the freedom to explode and to learn, because sometimes you fail. Anyway, so I could see things like that here, just like literally a rope that just goes up 50 feet and you're like, well, what's that for? And it's like, what is it for? Anyway, that's part of it. But before that, we want to grow food. We want to do awesome shit and take back the soil. As you can see, this is a sandy loam. You know, nobody thinks of Florida as like jungle in the beach, but we're literally a jungle beach dwellers. If we could have get this soil going though, so that we could grow all the native species, bring them all back, you know, like obviously that's the coolest thing. And then whether we like it or not, Florida, the sprawl is coming for us. The city is enclosing in, and we can either hate it, which I promise we did. We spent a good year hating it. But now we're like, there's opportunity, and there are going to be these beautiful neighborhoods, but where did their children go to play with baby ducks, which we'll show you in a little bit, and you know, and just get that farm experience, or even dip their toes in the water. You go in there, you know, those I was trying to think, what are those places you go with the salon? But we've got fish. You go put your feet in there, the fish will come over and they'll eat all the dead skin right off your feet. So healing, yeah. Well, the goal would be also things like that, right? Like a cold plunge, a sauna, like all these different things, different martial arts practices or ways to think. Because you were saying that when you first got here, which is the most profound thing. Right here. It's stress. Stress triggers everything, fight, flight, or freeze, right? So if you can manage your stress, I think that's when you're free here, because nobody can hurt you anymore. No situation can hurt you. You just show up to it the best you are, right? And that's all I hope, and I think we all hope for everybody. So anyway, see this yard is tore to shit because the chickens did this. So we're putting them back in, and we're gonna take the yard back. Corey said we should get wood chips. Let's sign up for this wood chip thing. So we're like, okay, nothing happens for like 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden there's just trucks coming in and out. Yeah. You gonna climb up it? Okay, get her. And I'm like, yeah, she's like, well, so we gotta spread all this, and Corey can speak more eloquently on it, or you guys maybe even know, but we have to build the soil up. You know, that's just how it is. And in order to do that, that's obviously part of the layering that will happen between that and palm fronds, and I would imagine some dirt too. Like, I don't know, we learned the hard way in Florida. We got like 2 grand worth of dirt in that garden, and then the next season, where's our dirt? And we're like, whoa, we're gonna need help in Florida. We're gonna have to call in the troops. But anyway, they've been dumping it here, and there used to be a big grape mother, like a big tree like this beautiful one here. You can see how her crown kind of kept everyone out, but it opened up a spot, you know, and whether that spot fits, I always call it a redneck deck, just something that's raised off the ground so everyone can feel comfortable if they're not comfortable like we are with our shoes off. But you're in the woods, right? But you're in it. And then you were talking about, you know, a tea hut or just anything to get back and just feel more connected.
Eastern inspired.
Eastern inspired, yeah, absolutely. Like, come on, like whose wisdom are we gonna pull from? Like younger or older? It's just like, it's like a no-brainer. Man, even with Bigfoot, like I attacked it like a stupid white guy forever. And then it wasn't until I was like, okay, this isn't working. And I opened myself up to Native American wisdom. And they just said, be respectful, leave an offering, and just reach out with your mind and just let them know you're going to their house. And I was like, that's so simple. Is life that simple? But it is always. It's that beautiful. And I started doing it, and I started having interactions in the woods, and I was like, wait, do I want this? Because this is actually scary. Like, is this? But anyway, yeah, you know, respect, man, respect, and managing stress. That's everything. So this is the front end of the 5 acres, and it goes to the other end. If you can't quite see this, this is put up as kind of like a guard because there's only one other property over there. But this whole area could be a food forest playground, you know, a zen place where people come to dial back in.
And now we have a whole list of plants too, with a whole design layout. And we're gonna get like we're gonna go to Staples and like print out a whole sheet so we can like look at it, get all the details. Carlos, CC Brown.
Carlos.
Yeah, he's gonna be doing a meeting with us in a couple days, and we're gonna be talking about it more, getting more specific. Because it's really important that the blueprint, the foundation, is good.
Yeah, because like I said, I tried to grow and I failed miserably, and I've grown everywhere else, and I can't. I said, okay, I'm old enough now to accept help, you know, from my mentors. But yeah, so this is it. Coming off the road, nothing's gonna change. He'll never sell. He hates everybody. She's asking $3 million, and they said, well, we'll give you $2 million. She said no, because I already got $50 million. You know, so hopefully she never sells, and this will always be a mini oasis down here, and that at least that view, that direction will never change. So, which would be good. And then most of it's protected too, because it's wildlife habitat. All right, Pops. Oh, sorry. Okay, we'll work our way to the back 9. And it's based, yeah, this is like imagine it's like a giant rectangle basically that shoots back. We took out the two trouble trees. They were just, you know, giant trees that were dead, but when are they gonna fall? Like what storm? And you could see our power comes in, so we're like, one of those goes down. They ain't coming for us for a while. So this is like the mid range. We'll have all our animals here. You know, we got like 30 chickens or more. We got some more turkeys. We got one tom in there. Psyched to get those eggs. We normally let them out, but like they'll be all around you and they're not afraid of you, and they're just, but you leave your hand there and they think it's a worm and they get you, and it's just so startling all of a sudden. You don't need that stress. You'll be like, I'm kind of stressed walking around with these turkeys. I'm like, that's not the point of this place. But and we just got bees, so we're pretty stoked about that. Figured that would be something that would have Corey smiling. We just reached out to a gentleman. He showed up and he's like, yeah, where I have these bees, I'm spending $100 a week feeding them. And he's like, I just can't do that. I'm like, so you don't love these bees then, don't you? And he's like, no, that's not the point. I was like, I just need a home. And we didn't know. And we were like, okay, well, if you like the place, hit us up. Next day, he shows up with his trailer. We're like, I guess you want them? And I don't know if this is the right spot or not. All I know is we put them out, and the missus walked over, and she's like, I was calling to you from my heart, son of a bitch, you know? So, but they were upset. They were driven from an hour away. And I didn't know about bees either. I didn't know they roam about 5 miles from where their hive is. Like, I can't, they're this big. How are they going 5 miles? But I guess with the neighborhoods there, and there's like a few nurseries. Hey, are you in the water? What are you doing in the water? They've got a lot. So most of the back 2 acres is on the other side of the river, but I carved these paths through so you could drive. We were considering opening it up as like a campground in the back. For, what was that campsite called? Hip Camp, yes, Hip Camp, because my buddy does it out in Arizona, and he's like, I've only met great people. He's like, make your price just a little bit higher than normal, and you'll just get a certain kind of crowd, and because we always wonder with the babies, and you know, just what it's going to be. But we got to open it up. And they say on that people love to drive up to their shit. So like if they can drive up, they're more inclined to be like, oh, okay, because if I freak out, I can stay in the car. Because you know I'm promoting that like Bigfoot was literally standing over there on the other side. Oh. You know, there's one video from Starkey Park. You can find it online on YouTube. And it's the Starkey Park Bigfoot video. And what's interesting about it is people think down here in the south, because of like Bergman's rule, which states like the farther north you are, the larger body frame, larger animal mass, and southern, the smaller. But that one they saw in the park over there was like 9 feet tall. It's super tall and lanky. So I think they're just like humans, you know what I mean? Like we're all different shapes and sizes, you know, but similar. Anyway, this is Tommy T's Beach over here. Or Pirates Cove, as I used to call it. we got lots of good, it's good fishing for little kids and stuff. And this hole, besides there's like down tree in there, but it's a decent swimming hole. And then the way it wraps around this little island that I want to put water cannons on, you know, just have a bunch of like kids, but also an adult bay where we could just blast each other and get all that aggression out. You know, that's the future, but platforms and fun thing, because it's all shallow all the way around. It's just golden sand and fish to catch, and, you know.
Did you say this was the Cody River?
Yes, yep. We're just way up it, where nobody see, like, tucked on in. And
Gators on the property?
Oh yeah, we got a hell of a gator story. That's a full one.
I heard that story.
Yeah, I'll sit you down for that one. That was, we lived the movie Jaws, but imagine instead of Jaws, a gator for 1 week on this property. And yeah, and I'm like big animal, like I let ants out, you know, the house. That's my good deed of the day, you know. but sometimes you got to handle your business, and I've learned to grow up and be, they call it Florida man here, I'm sure wherever you, Georgia man, Texas man, but I've had to like earn a few stripes here, which, you know, I'm proud of now, but I don't like that shit. You know, I don't want to hurt, I don't want to harm, I'm not trying to play God, right? You know? But anyway, yeah, they're here, but they're also beautiful, respectful, and they don't want anything to do with you, really. Like, they really don't. The previous owners, they raised their kids in these waters, they swam, they would raft down these things and everything, so, you know. I wouldn't say go in at dusk and dawn, but, you know, I'd say, but now it's no problem because it's super shallow. And I was starting to clean up all this stuff, and then store every time a storm, just different things break, and I was like, you know what? All natural is the way we like it, right, Corey? So let nature do its thing. If you go through there into the woods, you wouldn't know it, but there's like a secret orange, like wild orange grove in there. So I was going through because some dingbat, one of Maddie's friends, brings her cat, and she just opens the door and the cat just runs away. And we're like, do you even care about your fucking cat? And then a few days later, I see buzzards. I'm like, oh, it must be the cat. So the cat actually led me out there, and as I'm going, all of a sudden I look up and I'm like, I'm in an orange grove. I'm like, oh, I'm in an orange grove. This is Eden. I am Swiss Family Robinson. Yeah. But it's like the pain in the ass to get to, and, you know, they're super bitter. It's like the oranges that are probably super good for you, but you're also like, oh, I've been brought up on sugar. It's tough.
Are these tilapia down here?
I think they're just bluegills, or I'm not sure what Florida we call them, guppies, or, and there's bass. My cousin showed up, right? And like, I love to fish. I love fish because I just love talking shit between guys, you know, just healthy, good, like, oh, you see that cast? I mean, I barely even fish. How'd I hit that cast? And he showed up one time, and in the river, when the river was up, and he pulls out like a 6-pounder. Really? And that's river bass, like large, you know, they're leaner fish. And I was just like, of course you did, man. But he's the fisherman in the family, so he likes to rub that in when he comes over.
Dog is super wet.
Yeah, make sure you shake off right near them. They love that. That's what human beings love. We love that.
Just cover the whole camera too.
Yeah, he's a ham, man. He's got his own Instagram account, YouTube channel. You know, he's big time. That's Forrest. That's boy. He's boy. He's got mad bitches. Now that's okay to say because that makes sense. You know, yeah, that would make sense. Anyway, yeah, kids catch things down here, and so obviously more kids come. Like, you know, I grew up in this very affluent, wealthy town, but there's like working families, and then there's the summer people that would come. And my only complaint is that they had these beautiful properties, and even if they just opened them up a few days to just share it with people, right? Because you sit here and is it better if it's just my family? Or is it better that other people like let a little of it in their hearts, right? Like, and you can see it and be like, yeah, this is special. I just think that's how it's supposed to be. So that always pissed me off. So we obviously broke and enter into every property there. I've been in every house. I used to shit in teacups when they would be mean to us and leave it in the kitchen, but that's a different story. Yeah, don't mess with me. I'll do weird stuff. But anyway, so that's why I'm pro, like, I want to open up. But now Madeline's the opposite. Madeline's very private, but she likes it. She wants it. You know how it is we're all afraid to get hurt, right? We've all been hurt in some way or another, family, someone, but it's so nice when you don't feel that way. You're just like, oh, I can just be me, you know, and having a place like that, this could be that. This is obviously a more wild area, which we weren't sure if we were going to get pigs and bring more animals. So imagine this as all like fruit-bearing trees, almost like literally at the Lost Grove, which would just be a continuation of the Orange Grove over to here. And I know, I just think it would be so rad. I've already taken out a bunch of like the deadfall. There's a few more that need to come out, but I don't know. But once again, I need help back here. Like, I don't know. I don't want to we spent too much money and it all died. So it's like I'm kind of in the hot seat. So it's like if you bring in some pros, you know. But this would be beautiful, and then you can have people. And I'd like to, when you have excess or abundance, then we can share it. We can figure out how to like do some shit with it. But anyway, this is the farthest point before you have to go the river. But the river literally winds around it, so we just thought it would be a neat like camping spot, especially if you could drive out here. And then to be honest, I freaked out. I was like, well, who wants to be? We have got roosters going off. We got dogs. It was like, no one's going to want to rent here. And my best friend who's been doing it forever, he's like, shut up, shut your head up. Just shut up and do it. And I still haven't pulled the trigger. So that's like, I know that's part of our conversation every time I talk. Oh, you still not making money off your land? How's that treating you? Are you really proud? Are you a good husband? Click, you know, hang up on it. But yeah, so we built a little campground. It's going to be great someday. There's a tree over there that the kids like to climb. You can't quite see it, but that's been part of their like, and I always imagine someday there's going to be like a puma in that tree just looking at me, right? It's just so perfect. There's a lot of big old oaks and mothers in here that, like that one off the porch, that one is, that's the most beautiful thing on the property, as far as, you know, besides my babies, of course. Even set up for a porta-john, got the good one, you know, like that nice seat that's even, it's not even, you don't have to go full Asia. You actually like puts you up so you can be a lazy American. And then that damn, yeah, when that storm came through, it all went that way. But the amazing thing is every time I chase those damn dogs in the woods to bring them home, I find new things. I'm like, oh, I found this part of the toilet, I found this. So it's kind of like a treasure hunt. I get like excited. I'm like, are they gonna run away today? When I was cleaning up all back here, there was just old farm shit everywhere. And I don't know, there's something about a frame like that. I always feel like if you step through it, you're gonna go into another world. Yep, yeah, portal, right? Of course, her father, the old man, his like, every time he drives the tractor, how do you hit that? But almost every time he hits it. And I'm like, damn you, I don't need any more patience training. I have enough patience training. So these trees, we're trying to figure out an art project, but we cleaned up the woods of all the old trash and the glass bottles. We threw away all the aluminum and stuff, but the glass bottles we kept, and we were stacking them in the tree. So we're going to design them in a way where there's like a color pattern, like changes, but I don't know, we like them. The kids got points for finding the glass bottles, you know? But now we've kind of become the guys that left them in the woods again. So anyway, we rocked the dope tour, Corey. It's, yeah.